Welcome, AD. Hey, speaking it into existence. You know those videos where they start by, architecture that just comes to your house and they knock. They're like, oh, how did you guys know I live here? I don't have a house that goes on architecture that yet, but inshallah, Allahu Akbar, we will get there. But yeah, welcome, man. You guys saw me building something. There was a period where people couldn't seem to make sense what exactly it is I was doing. So the people that owned this house before us had two sheds, one that is right through that door and the one that I'm standing in, and both of them were filled with Amazon boxes. So there was a lot of dead mice, mosquitoes. So the first part of the job was clearing this up. So I got these guys to come clear up and build me a nice flat concrete. This is where things started getting tricky, because tell me why this guy just put a blue sheet. I don't even know what material that is. That it he just put it down, didn't even sakura marara. But the amount that they quoted me for this job led me to believe that somebody was going to have to dig up something. We actually ended up fighting over this, because you can't tell me I'm coming from Mavuku kutuzondivhara kuno kuengland sisi ndinodza mundivhara kunyika, and then almost became a whole thing. But yeah, I was not happy. But shout out to these guys. Incredible. They came in, did their things, 4 hours they're out, didn't even ask for coffee, brought their own coffee, in fact. Incredible. So the first part of the job was sealing these little gaps that were in the walls, in the floor, so that there's no air coming in, there's no water coming in. Had to cut these. This is floorboard material. I had to cut the timber, level it up so that it's fitting the measurement, so that by the time I have to lay these floorboards, they are fit and proper. That was the easiest part of the job. This is where things now started getting real, because I had to use a drill. I don't know how many drills I broke. The first one that we used, it actually bent out because it didn't have the power, and I had to get these electrical drills. These were the floorboards. Now, yeah, interesting times with these floorboards. And then I had to put these. This is insulation material, so that we're insulated from weather. We're keeping the cold out. We're also keeping whatever noise we make, for sound, because the material is dejurao, basically. So, but it's mostly for the weather. And then I also had to insulate the roof and then put those. This was the hardest part of the job, because keeping your arms in the air for this long is hard. Shout out to Caleb, came through, helped the boy to set this up. Knight in shining armor, really, because wow, couldn't have done it without him. So that was a big help. And then I had to start painting. This is when things, you could start to see, the finishing line. But painting the roof was hard, because keeping your arms, because you're like, what did I get myself into? But yeah, this was cool. This was cool. I don't know how many skills I picked up trying to do this, all because you're like, I'm not going to pay anyone. Tell me why no one shares how heavy carpets are. I almost cried. I'm saying almost, but I probably cried. Trying to move, that's me fainting. But before you put the carpet, you have to put a liner. Look, check out Zafa. Look, they could see I was almost at the finishing line. Now they're coming. Look, another one, rogue agent. But yeah, this is what the plan that I was working with. A lot of things changed, because whenever I met adversity, I was like, who's gonna know? But yeah, so many things changed. So many things stayed the same, but quite a few things changed. But yeah, let me show you what the real thing looks like now. This is what I was doing. So step in. This is Growth Point. This is the podcast set. This is where we film the podcast. I sit over here. Munasha sits over here. Yeah, this is how we're decorating it. This is where we film Propaganda also. We just move things. When we're doing Propaganda, these chairs go where they usually stay, which is there. The backdrop, in newspaper just flips over. It comes over this side. This then moves much closer here. Then we put a tabletop. Then I put my chair, and then the lighting is also a little bit different. But yeah, I think this is my favorite. I don't know if favorite is, but it has some of my favorite things. Some of the nonsense that you guys hear me talking about comes from some of these books. This is by, Dr. Blessing Miles Tandy, one of my favorite scholars. It looks like Neo, by the way. But yeah, this is Father Mkonori. You know the guy that, the priest that was involved in that event that happened in November in Zimbabwe. This is the guy. So this is also one of my favorite things because Effort Mjuru, Simon Chopper Chimbetu. I don't know if this is before or after he met Opam Chingu, but he looks like he hadn't been to jail yet. Nicholas Zakaria again, Baba Shero, before he was father of Sharon, classic. But yeah, I need to Lucky Dube. My mother loved Lucky Dube. My mother loved reggae. But yeah, man, this is my favorite. I got this for my father when I was coming to the UK. I was like, I'm not leaving without this. But yeah, some of them are on the wall now. We use them as my decorations for the show. The idea with most of the things, they are movable things. I think one of the only thing that is fixed is probably this and the TV. But otherwise, everything else you can move. This, even this light, you can move. It's just being held together by this hinge, Panabantu wardrobe. Jacket Rakombere Dambrandu, where some of these props I haven't thought, Hembe ya Papa Dabo. It's a mix and match of scarf. Haven't done like skits in a while because I honestly don't have the time. But yeah, this is where we are. This is Growth Point Studios, man. It's a little bit of a mess right now, and this is one of my favorite.
1000, 2000, 3000, 4 twice been a nea nezuro yodzoka yamo. I'm the hardest working man in town, hardest working man in town, hardest working man in town. Kicked up on the 1 minga, 2 minga, 3 minga, 4 teta kupusha madiri ansati maona before. I'm the hardest working man in town, hardest working man in town, hardest working man in town. Chikaya kati hati tambe well, not all the time.
Want another one. At least 2, because that's now Maita's toy. So when we have another baby, that baby also needs a toy. So we gotta have 2 of everything. But yeah, so this is Growth Point Studios. It took a long time, man. Every time my wife, like at least once a day, my wife will walk into this and be like, this is the teleprompter. This is what we use to film Propaganda. So the words will be coming from here. It's always here. And yeah, equipment closet, equipment. Well, but yeah, this is the desk. This is where everything happens now. Let me see if I can show you guys something interesting that we've been working on. Ooh, I almost showed them. There's a few deleted scenes from the first episode of Black and Forth. Things that we knew would get us into trouble. But yeah, this is where everything happens. I just wanted to give a big shout out, man, to everyone that's been involved in making this possible. I mean, there were times that I would want to give up, and then, somebody would send an encouraging word, and you'd be like, oh, all right, Kwacho, I can't give up. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard. I want to give a shout out. People sent encouraging words. Some of my friends even came to physically help, tie things together. Special shout out to Caleb, came from a long way out, helped set up a lot of the things, helped me finish this well. Some people sent Mari. You guys bought coffees, you guys watched the videos, that, all that effort helped. And it's always encouraging. So, I just want to say thank you. At some point, I'll have a wall where I can actually have the names of everybody. I saw that Celebration Center, they have a big pillar of everyone who contributed, be it a brick, be it whatever it is. There's a special thank you, because ideally, my idea is 5 years, 10 years from now, we actually have a Growth Point Studios where in Zimbabwe, in Harare, where you can actually do full-on productions, different things, art center. That is my hope, that is my dream. But for now, tutangira panapa, tutangira panapa, tutangira panapa, we're cooking the podcast, we're cooking Propaganda, the live shows, the tours are coming. And whenever I say something is coming, just know kuti pakanovharwa mari. I need you to understand. I need you guys to understand kuti that's our relationship now. Kandoro does something, you lose money. Lose is also a very loose word, because you're getting something out of it. It's a Ponzi scheme, but it's a very honest Ponzi scheme. There is no, I'm trying to change your life. Trying to change my life. We're not going to have any problems. Other people will come and tell you, no, this money is meant to lift you, bro. I'm trying to lift me up. I mean, if you laugh, good for you, but I'm doing that for self. I need you to know I'm doing that for me and for Maita and Maita's mother and whoever comes. Mario Tradishandisa, guys. You're keeping food out of my family. But yeah, man, really and truly, thank you guys. I'm always humbled when I see how far we've come. I've been fortunate enough to come across a lot of people that have been, very kind towards me, towards my family, and I'm forever grateful. And many of you are there in the comments. I just want to say, Musanete, Tinorarama Ninyasha, thank you so much. We have a space to create from now, and we're going to be creating. So let me get to that. I'll see you guys in a bit.